Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Overwatch, all are some of the most popular games in the world. And what do they have in common? They're all FPS games. In case you didn't know, FPS is a genre of video game that stands for first-person shooter. We'd expect most of you have played one of these games from time to time, and we expect many of you might confess to being an addict of the FPS genre. For our non-gamer viewers, we should explain that FPS games are so called because they give you a first-person perspective, as if you're looking through the eyes of the guy in the game. That's different from a third-person perspective, which gives you a view of the body of the virtual person. But this show isn't just for gamers, because who wouldn't want to improve their reaction time? Right, so let's say you're not bad at playing FPS games. Maybe you're a Call of Duty fan but just can't seem to get better. You're good, but not the best. We found a bunch of websites offering tips regarding how to improve at this game, but let's say there's something fundamentally flawed about you. Your reactions just aren't fast enough. You followed all these tips and you're pretty much a formidable player when it comes to how intelligently you play, but you're held back by something more physical. How does a person get better reactions? First of all, you must know what you're improving on. Playing the game might not be enough to see that you're achieving a better reaction time. The good news is that there are websites out there that test your reaction time, and so you can make a goal for yourself. We just went to a website called Human Benchmark and tested our reaction time. The test was simple. There's a red box and we're told to click our mouse when that box turned green. We did that a few times and then looked at the results. We're told the average reaction time for a human is about 215 milliseconds, usually called 215 ms. We are pleased to say that we were not bad, but we weren't that good either. We scored an average after a few goes, with some hits above the 1/5 of a second mark and some below. We should say that while we have played quite a few FPS games before, we are certainly not going to be a champion esports player anytime soon. So by testing yourself, you know what to improve. As many of you will know, just improving your reaction time by a small amount can make a big difference when you're playing seriously. We mean an improvement that lasts too, not a one-off. We suggest you visit one of the websites that test your reaction time, and for about 30 minutes each day, just keep clicking. We have no doubt that you will soon see the difference. Let's say that you have improved this fundamental thing of just having better reactions. That's good, but it's not good enough, of course, because in the virtual world of gaming, you can't just sit there being a good clicker when it's demanded that you click. You need precision too. Again, you're in luck because there are many training websites you can use which will test your reaction time as well as your precision. We had to go on one of these sites and we'll admit that we didn't do very well. Our reaction time might be average, but our precision was pretty disappointing. There are tons of fun training games out there for you to try, so we suggest if you want to become a better FPS player, you start trying out some of those games. Just Google training FPS games and you'll find what you're looking for. There are some things you can't train for though. How about temperature of your hands? Is that important? Gaming websites tell us that a drop in temperature will indeed negatively affect your reaction time, but we wanted to see how scientific that was. Fortunately, while few studies have been done on this, the US National Institutes of Health cited one study which told us that when the body temperature drops and we get cold, not only can it affect various stages of information processing, but we can have slower reaction times. If you want to play your best, then keep your hands warm, is what some gaming experts tell us. Maybe you don't have the money to keep firing up that thermostat, but of course there are plenty of ways to keep your hands warm. The obvious would be rubbing them or heating them up under a warm blanket. But if you're really serious about gaming, then you might want to invest in a heating pad or electrical hand warmer. You could just keep a hot drink close to you, and we suggest that in between games you move around a bit and do some stretching. You might also try the Zen method. This means focus, focus, and focus. Don't start a game with a lot of mental noise going on. You have to get into the zone, and while it might sound silly to you, we suggest sitting in front of your computer before you start playing and just imagining where you're going to go. Meditate on the situation and feel yourself inside the game. Nothing else matters, it's just you and the game. This will make you much more chilled when you actually commence battle. You've done the training, you know you're fast, you have warm hands, and now you're totally in the zone. Look at the concentration on a sprinter's face before they do their 100-meter race. That's where you want to be before you start to play. Next is the equipment you use. If you have a monitor that processes more image per second than another monitor, you will react better. One gaming expert said this about a monitor: "For me personally, getting a 144Hz monitor made me a substantially better player overnight. That same person also talked about his mouse. The mouse you use will have a slight delay. So let's say we react at 220 milliseconds, but the mouse has a delay of 5 milliseconds. That means the reaction time was really 225 milliseconds. Tech websites tell you that you can buy a higher-end mouse with a better delay time, so you might want to invest in one of those. The bad news for older gamers is that reaction time can get worse as we age. It's likely why you can easily beat your grandfather at most games. Studies have been done on this, and we're told that after 24, our reaction time starts to slow, but the good news is it slows at a very slow rate. In one study, people of various ages were tested while playing the game StarCraft 2, and it seems as folks got older, their brains processed information slower. They didn't do too bad though, because that study revealed that they made up for it by employing better strategies. What we lack in one department, we can make up for in another. Other studies have also shown that some older people can maintain their fast reactions, so we guess you just have to keep practicing. Then there are more issues related to the body. We shouldn't have to tell you that while you might think you're at the top of your game when you're drunk, it is likely not the case at all. If you want to play better and have fast reactions, don't play after a load of beers. Some professional esports players will also tell you that you need to stay in good shape, and that means keeping fit and also eating well. We might add that before you play, it's probably better to be alert and not feel sleepy. Get a good night's sleep and try not to play while stressed. Maybe even do a few warm-up exercises before you start playing, and we mean the physical kind. After that, do your Zen thing and start playing. We guess a lot of gamers watch this show, so why don't you tell us what you think improves your reaction time and overall gaming? Tell us in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video, Fortnite vs Apex vs PUBG Battle Royale 2019. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.